Good evening. Welcome to Content Ecosystem. On this channel, we focus on content creation and monetization. And I have a newly branded channel, to be honest with you, but also a new live series. And this live series focus on creators on the come up and basically just help you to hear some stories of some really dope creators and what they're, how they got to where they got and what they do, what they're currently doing, and just maybe you can get some value out of it too. So thank you so much for tuning in. I know you could be a million places in the world right now, but you're on the stream with us, and we really do appreciate that, and we don't take it for granted. Before we move on, I just want to let you know that this show is sponsored by TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is the dopest. It's the best plugin for serious content creators on YouTube who want to grow their channel, who want to just go get the right analytics that they need to just get really focused on their audience and being able to grow and scale their channel. So definitely in the link below the description, I do have a free trial. Whatever plan that you're on, you'll get a free trial to the upgrade if you want. And go ahead, take advantage of that. And shout out to TubeBuddy for sponsoring this stream. But on this stream, we have two dope creators. I really look up to them. They really do amazing work. And so, I mean, definitely put your seatbelt on, fasten up, and just get ready to just, hear some really dope content, some very compelling content tonight. And I'm very excited myself. So just getting right into it. Let's go ahead and get them on the show right now.
Content Ecosystem. Creators on the come up. We live.
First up, we have the homie Rob Balasabas. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, E? I was just chatting in the comments here. This is awesome.
I see your fingers are busy over there, bro. Your fingers busy. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's
man.
good. I love all of these transitions, man. And it's just like the show looks so crisp.
I appreciate
so good.
it, man. Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm actually slowly building the show out. It's not really where I want it, but it's slowly getting there. When you're busy, you just got to build it one little piece at a time. So I really appreciate you. And I love everything you're doing, bro. So definitely excited to get into your story and just get into some dope content with you. Right now, we'll go ahead and bring the homie Stephanie Liu up. What's up, homegirl? Yes. How you doing?
Hi. How's everyone doing?
Good. Did we catch you in mid-bite?
I was like, I'm about to, but I know he's paying attention.
It's coming. Absolutely, man. Well, thank you as well for being on the show. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show. I know both of you two are very busy, so we're just going to get both of you two on the screen right now. And all right, cool. So now I guess I will be going.
I know. I'm like,
high five.
My hand is so huge compared to yours.
I know, right? But cool, man. It's all good. So I really, like I said, I really appreciate y'all coming on. So yeah, this is actually a pretty new series. I started it maybe 7 weeks ago. I think you guys are my 7th or 8th episode, and really just had a vision for just showcasing some dope creators. And before I even go any further, let's go ahead and show some love to everybody in the comments right now.
Yes,
we have David Hunt in Hunty, or is it Hunt? He's in the comments. What's up, bro? I see him playing every morning. I wake up. He goes live playing his piano. He's like serenading us to wake up. So yeah, what's up, Kirk? In the building. He said, "Eliseo, the collab king." Nah, man, that's you, brother. That's you. He be having. Have y'all checked out Kirk's show, man? Yeah. He had some really tough power players on his show. I know Marshall was just on there just a couple days ago. So congratulations on that. I need to get with you, Kirk, actually, because I'm having some restream issues. Maybe you can help a brother out on that. You know what I'm saying? That's actually why we were a little bit late tonight, because I was trying to figure restream out, but we couldn't. But it's all good. We're gonna keep it moving. So what's up? We have F Humphreys in the building. What's up, F Humphreys?
Keely?
Yeah, I think that's Keely. Yeah. What's up? And we have Jermaine Freeman in the building. What's up, bro? Thanks for checking out the show. And we have My E-Class and Bites, and her channel was doing really good. She was in the Vlogmas, I remember, because I would review her channel a few times, and her channel is just growing, and she has a really simple format. She doesn't really show her face. I think she does voiceovers or whatnot, and her channel is just growing. So that's just proof that you don't have to be You don't have to be doing a whole lot on. I mean, you do have to do a whole lot, but you don't have to necessarily show your face or be doing, all this stuff. You can have a
I
really.
know you almost gave me a comment mustache.
Well, I'm trying to move this. You know how in Ecamm you have all the camera overlays at the bottom. I'm trying to move it out the way because it's covering up the comments on my end. So I was trying to move it. But anyways, getting.
I like this. It's like we're talking to you, like you're facing us, and we're facing you. It's like a class.
That's why I did it that way. To be honest with you, it was like 3 minutes before I went live. I said, let me face the camera so I can be like facing them, and it's pretty dope.
I like it.
Cool, but all right, cool, man. So awesome. So I'm super excited to have y'all on, and really. We're gonna jump in. I did say we're gonna jump in Clubhouse for like 30 minutes after this, right? I told y'all that? I told y'all.
I saw that and I was like, I'm gonna be so hungry.
You're so little. It'd be the little people that be eating a lot of food and they don't gain a pound.
I'm always like hiding food and like trying to snack in between. You just find rappers everywhere.
Yeah, see, if I was to eat that amount of food, I would just be like all out. But hold on, let me go back to this screen real quick because I do want to give a shout out to the Nixons for the shirt. I don't know if y'all can see this.
Nice. Yes.
Creators on the come up. I'm actually going to bring them on my show because they just do so much. They give back so much to the creator community. And I think it's well worth highlighting what they do. And let's see if we can get them, just get them, drum up some business. There's a lot of creators that really need what they have to offer. So super excited about that. So, all right. So with all that out the way, it's 9:15. We usually try to cut this off right before 10. So we got about 45 minutes and then we'll jump in Clubhouse for about 30 minutes. So let's get into you guys' story. And, I'm really excited about that. We're going to start with Rob and we'll go from there. So I'm going to take you off the screen, Stephanie. If you need to eat, go ahead and eat. Make sure you grab some water or something to drink and we'll be back. Okay. So
a rapper in the background.
So Rob Balasabas with a side of Balasabas, man. This is my dog right here. So yeah, I met Rob not too long ago, man. I think we just, I hate to sound spooky, but I think the universe just kind of put us together because we're kind of in my feelings, we're kind of like kindred spirits. You know what I'm saying? We kind of got the same vibe and everything. So really just want to talk about like if you could kind of like introduce yourself, who you are, and then from there, and I'll, from whatever you don't say, I'll go into some other questions from there, and then we'll get it all out there. Go ahead, brother.
Thanks, man. Thanks for bringing me on the show. Congrats on the success so far. You got some really awesome guests so far, and some really awesome guests coming up from what I'm hearing. I'm Rob Balasabas. I'm the partnership manager here at TubeBuddy. So I've been here for about a year. Had my YouTube channel for about 2 years almost. And then before that, I was working in software as well, on the partnership and marketing team over at Thinkific, doing online courses. And that was the platform. That's what we did over there. Enjoyed creating content, doing live streams, doing all that stuff since probably 3 years ago. That's kind of when I started doing all this live streaming stuff and getting into videos. It's been a fun ride, opened up tons of doors for me. I know that this is the creator on the come up show. So happy to talk about any of those, struggles getting started and all those things. I think we all share that as a creator. So trying to help anyone along the way. Oh, you're just muted there.
My bad. Okay. So I have two ways to mute. I can mute through Ecamm and I can mute through my Rodecaster Pro. I try to remember mute through the Rodecaster Pro. I'm more tactile because I'm a DJ, so I'm more tactile with the buttons. So I'll remember to do that. But cool, that's super dope, man. So I kind of want to get a little bit more into your backstory. I kind of want to kind of get into Stephanie a little bit, have her introduce herself, and then what I want to do, I want to get into a little bit of your backstory because I think it's interesting how someone kind of gets with like Thinkific and TubeBuddy, and just to kind of like hear how you even got into that lane, because I think that's such a dope lane to be in because you make a living from that. You know what I'm saying? Like so many people would love to make a living from working with TubeBuddy or Thinkific or any of these brands and companies. So I think I definitely want to dig into that a little bit. But next, all right, so I'm making sure I don't catch her in mid-bite. Okay, I see her in the green room. She's good.
See you in a sec.
So Stephanie Liu. if you could introduce yourself, let us know who you are and like what you do and all that good stuff, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So I'm Stephanie Liu, aka the Hungry One. I'm also the host of Lights Camera Live, where we shine a spotlight on the best and brightest marketers in the industry, so that way you could take your brand from unknown to unforgettable.
Wow.
So I'm mostly known for live streaming these days, but prior to that, I worked at an advertising agency. So my background is actually in paid media and social media advertising.
Wow.
And the way that I jumped or made the leap into live streaming was really just kind of out of necessity. So we could get into that a little bit later, but that's who I am. And I've been live streaming for about 4 or 5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is super dope, man. Well, awesome. So let me get just the interview mode up here. I'm looking at you too. All right, cool. Yeah, what's funny is y'all have a really dope vibe. I was looking at like a throwback Ecamm video, and y'all were like at a conference, and Stephanie Liu was interviewing people, and then like it was her time to interview you, and then y'all were just like had such a dope vibe, and she was like, "Oh, this is the Asian Persuasion Show" or something. Y'all was saying.
I know exactly which one that was.
I know.
Like
Yeah,
when I
it's
saw
fun.
that episode, I said I gotta see if I can get them both on my show. It'll be a dope time, man. So really cool, man.
hilarious.
I love what you said
Yeah.
about unforgettable. What is it? Unforgettable.
Unknown to unforgettable. Yeah.
Yo, let me put that
Yes.
back on the screen. And Rob Balasabas, appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. I
Unknown
got
to
you. Yeah.
unforgettable. That's a dope tagline. That's a super dope tagline. She's like, that's me. I have it trademarked.
Great.
Okay. Cool. So if I can go a little bit into your backstory, Rob, like how like I guess like out of high school, out of college, did you know like, man, I want to be in like the creator like type?
No.
No. She was like, no. Like,
no,
how did you even get into this line of work? That's the question.
Yeah. No. I remember hanging out with Stephanie. I think at a VidCon or something. She's like, "Hey, Rob," like we were just hanging out, and like she's like, "Hey, Rob, are you like super shy? Like, are you an introvert?" I'm like, "Yes, and 100%." Like, yeah. So growing up, like I was never in like videos. Like, there's not many like home videos of me growing up and stuff. I just hated the camera.
Wow.
Even through college, like I would be like group projects where you had to present. I'd be like, "Hey guys, I'll do the research. I'll put it together." And then somebody else can present it in front of the class. Like
that was me too.
I was that guy. Yeah, I was that guy. But like, funny enough, like I was like Steph, started in the digital agency world. I don't know, like 7-8 years ago.
Wow.
And then did that for a good few years and like learned click funnels and like sales funnels and all that stuff, WordPress plugins, all that stuff.
Wow.
That was like spent quite a fair bit of time doing that. And then one of my buddies like started working at this startup called Thinkific, and he's like, "Hey, come by for coffee. We're growing." I'm like, "How many people over there?" It was like, "Oh, there's like 10 people." So
Wow.
had coffee with him the next week, and then the next week I was working there, doing tech support.
Like startup. My buddy started a start. So you know them on like a buddy system type deal. Wow.
Yeah. Joined them when they were about 10 people. I was like employee number 12 there or something like that.
Thinkific, wouldn't they be like $1 billion company now? Thinkific? No,
not quite there, but I mean they've blown up for sure. And but yeah, I started in tech support for about a few years, and then they're like, "Hey, who wants to do the Instagram stuff? Like nobody's doing it." I was like, "All right, I'll do it. I'll just do it like as a break from answering tech support tickets and stuff." And then they're like, I came from like a marketing background, so I'm like, doing Instagram. They're like, "Hey, you're pretty good at that. Do you want to do Twitter?" And then I started doing Twitter, and then and eventually they're like, "Why don't you just do the whole social media stuff?" So I did that, and then we started doing collaborations with influencers, because that was a big channel and nobody wanted to do it, and they were inviting us. They're like, "Hey, who wants to come and join us for a live stream or a podcast from the Thinkific team?" Nobody wanted to go. I was like, "All right, I'll do it. And so then we're like, "Hey, there's a big opportunity here. So, but we need our own like platform to give to creators and influencers." So we started doing our own shows. And then that just, blew up the doors wide open for organic collaborations with influencers and the whole affiliate world and all that stuff. So that's it. That was kind of the startup with
that's pretty
that.
dope. And then you just like started with Thinkific, and then how long were you there, if you don't mind me asking?
Almost 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, almost 5 years.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So that's Rob's backstory. I always wanted to know that. That's pretty dope. So cool. Now, just switching gears a little bit, I want to hear a little bit of your backstory. Now, Stephanie, I was in a clubhouse room, right? It was like totally random in the hallway. Only reason I even clicked in the clubhouse room was because I saw your name. I'm like, let me see what she's talking about. I can see she's on stage. But when I went in there, it was on some low key kumbaya type stuff. It was like on some like really like,
the vulnerable.
I don't know. It was like, no,
Got deep.
it literally, I left that room like questioning a lot of stuff in my head because, you were talking about some like communication stuff and signs and nonverbal communication and all this stuff. And I was like blown away at like how you were talking. So like, is that part of like your background a little bit, or can we get into that?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about neurolinguistic programming.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that is knowing how to communicate with people much more effectively. And I found that skill set was so helpful and powerful when you're working with clients.
Wow.
Right? Because a lot of clients are always coming to you with problems.
Yeah.
And if you're able to filter down what it is specifically that they need, like Rob knows this too, right? Like in tech support,
Yeah.
it's like what specifically isn't working right now. Right.
Wow.
And I found that to be so very helpful when you are pitching clients, or even now when you're pitching other brands and for collaborations, negotiating prices and whatnot, and really being able to communicate your value. Because that's the difference that makes a difference these days. I feel like some people just don't invest enough time to level up their communication skills. And it's something that we do on a day-to-day basis, whether it's like short form videos, tweets, Instagrams, live streaming.
Yes.
When you have that like dialed in, like you're good to go.
Wow. That's phenomenal. So yeah, Kirk said, yes, linguistic or gistic? Linguistic.
Linguistic.
Right? Yeah. Programming.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So I kind of threw that question out there, but I did want to kind of get a little bit into your background and how you got to where you're at. Like, where did it start, and like, how did you kind of get to where you're at? Kind of like what Rob did, if you don't mind. I would love to hear that kind of like quick little story or whatever.
So, as I said before, like I came from the agency background, and it wasn't until I discovered that my husband and I were pregnant, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Right? Because when you're working at an agency, you're working like 45, 50 plus hours a week. And I was like, man, like I want to bring another human being into this world. So I want a flexible schedule.
Yeah.
And so I decided, all right, if I could do this for like Nike, Sephora, Clinique, I could sure as heck do it for myself.
Wow.
So I left the agency world. And then that's when I didn't realize everybody was calling themselves like a social media strategist. Like, oh, I posted a photo on Instagram. I'm a strategist. I was like, no, you ain't. I was like, no, you're not. Stop that.
That's hilarious.
Right. And so I found myself like, why, with my background, why was I competing with people that you could easily find on Fiverr or Upwork, right?
Wow.
So I needed to really separate myself from the sea of sameness. So out of necessity, as I mentioned before, I started live streaming. And when I started live streaming, it was very much about, let me show you what I can do. Let me show you how to create an editorial calendar.
Wow.
And I think that really helped me in getting the attention of additional clients, because coming from the agency world, I was already connected to someone. And with the shareability on Facebook, it was like, oh, have you seen this? Right?
Yeah.
And so they shared it around. I think that the big moment for me when I realized like, oh, I'm actually a live streamer was when I was invited to speak at my very, very first event.
Okay.
And it was called Social VidCon. It was like a video that my girlfriend was putting together. And I actually taught OBS, the IKEA of live streaming. That's how I always tell everyone, like, it's the IKEA of live streaming. You got to like figure out your camera source and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, wow.
And that's when I realized, hey, I really like doing this. And then ever since then, all of the events, people would reach out, ask about live streaming. I still remember when Rob Balasabas reached out to me and I was like, oh my God, Thinkific knows who I am. Who is this guy? Oh, he's going to offer me some tacos in downtown San Diego. I like this guy.
That's hilarious. Tacos. Yeah.
I'll do anything for tacos, So.
Man, that's lit. Man, I think that is just phenomenal. I love what you said, and Kirk actually highlighted it, the sea of sameness. You guys are dropping some bars tonight, man. Man, that is dope. So all right, cool. I love that. And so let me ask you, like, so is the linguistic stuff something you went to college for, or just something that you personally kind of get into, or is that a profession, or what is that for you?
Yeah, I would say it's something that the agency sent us to go get training for. They're
Oh
like,
wow.
listen, if we're going to put you in a boardroom of CMOs and CEOs, you need to go in there with confidence. Like, you need to know how to ignite your ideas.
Wow.
Mhm.
And that was the part where I was like, okay, put me in there, right? Because we're so used to communicating the way that we normally do.
Yeah.
I genuinely talk really, really fast. I talk with my hands. I do all this, right? But when you put me in Clubhouse, I know that I have to slow down
Yeah.
because that's a different audience learning style that I have to pay attention to. So I'm mindful of that now. And I think that's definitely helped me out a lot with clients, with relationships, heck, even my daughter,
Wow.
because I'd be like, Rob, you know this. Then my daughter is going to be like, Mom, where's that thing? And I'm like, it's over there, and I'll put it on my lips.
That's what
Pointing
us.
with your lips.
That's
I
what
know.
us. That's
I'm
what us.
washing the dishes. It's over there.
Wow.
And so I realized, even as like a 5-year-old now, she has a different learning style, and I have to be flexible in my communication because the meaning of communication is the response that you get. If someone doesn't understand what you're saying, say it a different way.
Wow.
You don't just keep saying it the same exact way and they're like, oh, they still don't get it. There's something wrong with them. No, there's nothing wrong with them. There's something wrong with the way that you're communicating. And so when you know how to switch it up, then you know you're doing a good job.
Man, the meaning of communication is the response that you get. Woo! Hold on. That's the first time I ever pressed that button in the live stream. I had to do it. What else do I got here? I know I got something else. No, don't want that one.
I like how Doc has the black pink sound effects. I had to steal that from him. How you like that? I was like, oh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do like that. No, let me go to this main screen I want to show because we have Press and So in the building. Creators on the come up. They did this shirt for me, and yeah, man, I said I'm gonna wear it tonight.
Nice.
I want y'all to see that. So yeah, that's pretty dope, man. I think, because I have a store with Shopify, is it? Let me go to this one. And I've been doing pretty good. Like I thought of this shirt. You bought one, Rob, the Pause Pray Proceed shirts. And I just saw today that I got an order from Japan. And today I got an order from Europe. And I'm like, you know what, man? I think I'm going to talk to them about maybe just doing everything with them because they're so professional. And they do. And I think it'd be dope to just like, as content creators, if we kind of go that route with not the mom and pops, but just kind of help the smaller kind of creator companies out. I think that'd be super dope. So shout out to them, man. So, man, both of you have some really dope, compelling backgrounds. I learned a lot about you, too, about the whole linguistics. And Rob, he's just a natural at the social media. Not really, but he kind of fell into it.
Rob is the collab king. He's the collab king. He knows everybody. It's one of those things like people hit me up on LinkedIn. They're like, I'm a friend of Rob Balasabas. Like, you know Rob? I know Rob.
I know. Everybody knows Rob. You know Rob. I know Rob. We all know Rob.
You can't.
Yeah, Rob. No,
you can't
Rob,
get it. Just say my name. Just drop my name.
Yo,
say his name. You say Rob Balasabas. They let you in. You're like, okay.
But no, Rob, he will intro you really quick, which is what I love about him, because I'm not scared to like talk to people and intro people and just like be really, cordial with people. And so many people, especially sometimes in the creator world, so many people could be standoffish and like in their own world. And I get it. You do have to put your head down and get focused. But like, where do the collabs come in at? Where does the camaraderie come in at and whatnot? So I appreciate Rob for that, man. So now so we know about your background and we know what you do now. And I just kind of want to hear from both of you on like, do you have a YouTube channel, Stephanie?
I do, but it's not like as fancy as Rob. It's like something that I actually keep on the DL.
Okay, gotcha. But that's cool though.
Yeah, because I'm mostly
Facebook and LinkedIn though.
Yeah, Facebook and LinkedIn is usually where I'm at because, like you said, as a content creator, you got to keep like your head down. And what I found is that for me, Facebook and LinkedIn is what drives the leads for me.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I only work 2 days a week. During those 2 days a week, I have to focus on like what's going to pay the bills and what's going to drive the revenue, what's going to take me to the next level in my business.
Wow.
Right. So for me, YouTube, that's Rob. That's all you guys. You guys take care of that, right?
You guys.
You guys
Yeah.
The first time,
all this competition over there, but on Facebook and on LinkedIn, like that's where I'm at.
Gotcha. The first time I even heard your name was from Doc Rock, and Doc was talking about, he was saying something, and he was like, my mentor, Stephanie Liu. I had probably heard that like 10 times before I actually looked you up, because you hear stuff, you're like, my mentor, Stephanie Liu. I'm like, Doc has a mentor, like Doc, who's going to mentor Doc, right? Yeah. So then I was like, I looked you up and I'm like, okay, cool. And then
I get it.
And then you actually jumped in a Let's Get Live group, and then you were commenting on posts, and so I was like, oh, she's actually engaging and active and stuff. So that's really dope. But where was I going with that? I was going somewhere with that, but no, I was just saying that's the first time I heard your name, and so I think it's really dope. Yeah, I remember where I was going with that. Doc was saying that what you did for him, one of the things you did for him was you kind of like what me and Rob was doing last night. He said that you kind of got on him about scheduling your posts, scheduling your live streams, and just like, the importance of doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, and it makes a lot of sense because so many people, they live by their calendar. So I know, like a lot of my business partners, they say, if it's not on my calendar, I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's really, yeah. Could you kind of speak to that a little bit about, just the importance of, I guess, live streaming and like maybe the organization piece of it or the back end piece of it, the neuro-linguistic piece of it?
Well, I think it really boils down to in knowing your audience and how consumer behavior is shifting these days, right? Especially now that we're in the middle of everything these days. And I find that my audience, we're juggling school and homework and work and shows and all this other stuff. And so if it's not on our calendar, it doesn't happen. If we don't know, they don't go. Wow. So for me, it's really
Stephanie, you're a rapper. Stephanie, you're a rapper. Yeah. I don't care what nobody says. Stephanie is a rapper, man. She's like, if they don't know, they won't go.
You don't know.
Right? That's what I said. Yeah.
Love it.
It's one of those things where I'd rather have you put it on your calendar, because as soon as they see it blocked off on their calendar, they plan everything else around it.
Yeah.
It's for me, I look at my calendar. Oh, nope, I'm doing something at like 6:00. I'm not eating dinner. I am here. Right? Like, wow. That's what I'm planning for.
Wow.
And so when I first met Doc, I met him during the Leap into Live Streaming boot camp. And he was so active, and I loved it every time that he showed up. And Rob knows this, is like, if you show up for us, we show up for you. Wow. Right? It's just human decency, and we love seeing other people thrive. And so I saw him starting to go live a lot more often, and I was like, hey, you know what? Like, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to work with brands or whatever it is? And so he shared a couple of things with me. And I was like, well, the first thing that you could do is schedule your live broadcast, because then at least that way people can get a reminder.
Wow.
And so he started doing that. And then ever since then, like, gosh, like everything that he does, I'm always like, I slide into the DMs. I'm like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
And now he's a part of the Ecamm team. And I'm like, all right, now he's going to like tell me what to do with my show.
I know, right? Like, do better, okay, Step? Do better. He gonna start calling you Step. Watch. Come here, Step.
He's like, we need to switch out your Blue Yeti. I'm like, I've been using this Blue Yeti like forever. I love this thing.
Is that a Canon behind you? It looks like a Canon.
That's my Canon T6i. That's the very, very first DSLR that I used when I first started live streaming.
Wow.
So I used the Canon T6i, and then now, thanks to Sean Cannell, right? I got the GH5.
Nice. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting the ZV-1. I'm thinking about getting that. Yesterday I bought the Mac Mini, so I'm like, let me slow down a little bit.
I'll tell you, that Facebook group, I'm very much like, the first time they mention something, anytime, India or any of them mention something, I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then they talk about it like week after week, and it just breaks you down. You're like
bad influence, right? Bad influence.
It's like the gear acquisition syndrome, and but you do have to spread your spending out for sure. Especially like with the spouse and stuff, because especially if your spouse don't really know what's going on, they just seeing like the bills coming, like, well, what are you doing? It's like, trust me, it's an investment. It's an investment. So,
trust me.
I remember I remember when my husband's like, "What do you want for our wedding anniversary, our 5-year wedding anniversary?" I was like, "I want fiber internet." That's
Yes.
what I want because I have all these shows and I don't wanna have
Yes.
to be, like, kicking people off. Like, I just
Yes.
I want this running and that running and everything.
That is awesome. Yeah, I had to
That's
stop streaming
hilarious.
for a whole year because I didn't have any good internet speeds.
Oh,
So
shoot.
yeah. But I think if the spouses can see the investment, like one of my first deals, I always talk about this because it's a true story. One of my first deals in like the content creation world was a $20,000 deal where I helped a small business like they just didn't really have any online presence, and I just kind of gave them some tips. You need a Facebook
Yeah.
group. And I told them, get a Facebook group, get a YouTube channel. So I started their Facebook group, their YouTube channel. I started like all their online stuff, and then they end up like 6 months later getting bought out because they did so
Oh,
well on the internet that another company was like loving what they're doing, so they got bought out. But that was a $20,000 deal that I was proud of, right? And I always use that when I'm buying something, and my wife is like, "What are you buying?" I'm like, 20 G's. You never know that the next deal could be 50 G's. You never know. So I would just, and that's kind of segue into like what I want to talk with you guys too about, because my show is about content creation and monetization. I love to hear, I just love this. Like I could talk about this all day. How are you guys monetizing your platform? Like how are you guys monetizing your content? Like I know you get a check from TubeBuddy, so
yeah.
so I don't know,
There's
but
that.
I'm sure that you're still like monetizing different ways outside of that, and I know you are too as well, Stephanie Liu. Shout out to LBC Branding in the house. She said let's spend money.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Not let's get
It is.
loud. Shout out to Tom Buck. What's up, Tom Buck in the
Hey,
house?
Tom.
This
What's
is an
up?
all-star lineup. Hey, what's up, Tom? Man, he is super cool,
I feel
man.
like Let's Spend Money needs to be its own show. I'm
I
like,
know, right?
I
everybody get ready.
know.
I
Let's do
know,
a
right?
live shopping show. Dun, dun, dun,
Cool.
dun.
So
It's
so
coming.
who wants to go first? What are some great monetization ideas that you guys are doing with your
Oh,
content?
man. I
He's
mean,
like,
we could talk about, I'm sure we could all talk about this all day. Yeah, like in my world at TubeBuddy, it's all affiliates. So that's a big part of what I talk about all day, like affiliates. How do you make money on affiliates? Our affiliate system, like our affiliate program is what I manage here at TubeBuddy. But affiliates, like, look around and like what gear, what products, Ecamm is an awesome affiliate program. Like all these companies, all these brands have awesome affiliate programs. So affiliates, like that's one main way. There are, here on YouTube, and I think on Facebook, I mean, Steph, you're probably more on top of this stuff, but like Facebook, there's ways to tip, and there's ways for super chat, and there's ways for memberships. So, memberships on YouTube, Patreon, buy me a coffee, off platform using Thinkific, Teachable Kajabi, like, these memberships. And again, there's tiers of memberships, right? There's like the $3, there's like 50, there's like high ticket memberships. So there's that as well. Steph, do you still run a membership? I'm not sure. You used
No,
to run one, right?
yeah, I did. Yeah, which is actually very interesting. So I I think like the journey of Lights Camera Live has been very interesting because when I started doing the live streaming, speaking at events, then people were like, "Can you coach me? Can you help me along the way?" And so I did have a master class, which was like 6 weeks of group coaching, getting them to get over like the mindset, right? So for me, it was like lights isn't necessarily the actual lights in your office, but it's about what lights you up inside.
oh
What's
wow,
that
look at
spark?
that, look
Like,
at that.
what
There
are
we
you
go.
passionate about? Because that's what's really going to drive your content, right?
Wow,
So,
Yep.
lights is getting through your mindset because you're passionate about something, but there's something where like the lights are turned off and you just got to like turn it on.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Just
camera was really about,
really quick too. I want to step down on that because I was just talking with my friends about when it comes to live streaming, sometimes people get lost in the technical aspect of it. Some people, not all people, but I said, if you could, I kid you not, Stephanie, I can screenshot you the conversation. I said, if you could take concepts of live streaming, lights, right, and use that as for something more life application, practical wise, and that's exactly what you just said. And I'm gonna send them this stream, and I'm gonna be like, bro, like we were saying the same thing. So I just think that's amazing. So go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no. And then that's exactly what it is. It's finding out what lights you up inside, because when you know
Mhm.
what you're passionate about, you could talk about it endlessly. Like Rob could
Wow.
talk about affiliate marketing like all day, every day.
Yeah.
And then camera was really like, okay, now you're in front in the camera. What are you going to say? How do you organize yourself? And so creating a run of show, knowing the different audience learning styles, all the NLP neurolinguistic stuff I threw into the camera portion of it, right? Because it's
Mhm.
more than just pushing the button. It's knowing how to say it, knowing how to deliver what you're saying in a meaningful way that keeps you top of mind and tip of tongue,
Wow.
right?
She's a rapper, y'all. She's a
Is it?
rapper. She said top of mind and
Crazy.
tip of tongue. Man, I gotta write all this down. No, it's recorded. It's recorded, so I can
There you
come
go.
back and watch
There
it.
you go.
So
There you go.
go ahead. Go
And
ahead.
then the live part of that group coaching program was let's go live on every single live streaming platform. So I had
Mm.
originally taught them like Be Live, OBS, Ecamm to
Mhm.
get them started, because I was like, if one of those fails,
Mhm.
at least you have a backup, right? If one of those doesn't work, then at least you have another backup. And so I did that for maybe like 2 or 3 times, like a really good group coaching cohort. And it was great. I mean, it was really fun. And I'll tell you, every single one of them, mindset was the whole entire thing.
Wow.
Because when they stopped focusing on what other people were thinking, right? They're like, oh,
Mm.
what are people going to say? You know, what if they say blah, blah? I'm like, who are these people? Where do these people live? What are their names? Give me their email addresses. Let's talk to these people. And they were like, oh my God, these people
Oh,
don't
yeah.
even exist. And then once you like crush that story, they're like, okay, I'm gonna write a new chapter. I'm gonna do this now. And they
Love
did
that.
it. But yeah, like every single time they're just like, oh, what are people going to say? I'm like, what do they wear? You know, what are they doing? You know, where do they live?
That is so good. It reminds me
Sound
of
like my
like
Lola, man.
no, it reminds me of like with my little girls. I have 3 children, so I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And sometimes when they don't want to go to bed, it's only because they don't want to go to bed. They're like, "Oh, mommy, there's something in the closet or there's someone under the bed," and like Steph's like, "Where is it? Turn on the lights. Let's look under the bed. Let's look in the closet." So it's kind of like what you're saying with these people. Like, who are these people? You
Who
know,
are these people?
it
Yeah.
really, but it's like my daughter. She just used it as an excuse not to go to bed, and sometimes those people use that as an excuse not to get started or not to do something because the people don't exist. They don't exist.
They don't
Like,
know. They don't.
that is amazing. I love that. Yes, Stephanie, we got to do it. We got to do a song together because I know you're a rapper. You got bars. That's awesome. I was listening to Sean Cannell in Clubhouse the other day, and he said something that kind of blew me away. He said that the content creation space now for 2020 was the most, it was the highest, most, you know, like when something's on the trend, on the rise, it was the highest rise of small business type content creation. And he was saying it's like a $20 million industry right now. And then he said that YouTube alone employs a 350,000 full-time 6-figure like small businesses, like which for us would be solopreneurs or whatever like that. So and those numbers are going to double. And that just blown like, so anybody who wants to get into content creation, like now is the time. Just imagine making 6 figures from creating content, whether it be about something you love or passion. Go ahead.
No, I just saw that. What lights you? Yeah, exactly. What lights you up inside?
Yeah, no, he was one of the ones we were talking about because I was telling him the technical side of the streaming, it can lose people, but you will never lose people when you're talking about the moral side of some of these aspects and the life application side. So yeah, he's just attesting to what you said, man. That's awesome. So what do you guys have to say about that? You know, kind of spinning off of what Sean said about the content creation market and the economy. Like, do you feel the same way? Like, is that fruitful right now, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Steph.
I mean, honestly, there as a content creator, there's so many opportunities for you, even as a live streamer. Because even today, between you, me, and the Wi-Fi and the people that are watching right now,
Fiber.
I was on a right and fiber.
Hey, that's a
Internet,
shirt. That's a shirt between me, you, and the Wi-Fi. That is a shirt.
me and the Wi-Fi. That's the new show. Trademark.
Love
I
it.
said it. Between you, me, and the Wi-Fi.com, Stephanie. So I was on this client call, and this particular client, they wanted to do like these testimonial videos with the people on their staff. They just could not do it. They just, the people came out, right? Like the people came out and they're just like tripping over their words. And I was like, this is an opportunity for content creators to teach these organizations how to do media training, how to speak to a camera, how to handle the fact that, you know, little people try to come in. That's actually a real one. That was a real one. That wasn't a sound effect. That was a real one. And I think that's an opportunity as a content creator, is for you to share your skills for how you do your lighting, how you do your setups, how you be comfortable in front of the camera. Wow. A lot of people are starting to realize, like, man, there's something about me where I might not feel as confident as I thought that I was confident. Wow. Right? And so that's an opportunity for you to share, like, what lights you up inside? What do you do? And in most cases, man, I pretend I'm Rob Balasabas. I'm like, let me tell you who I am. You know, I come from Thinkific. I got like that Tube Buddy money. I got that gear, all that. You know, of course, do you know who I am? That's what I do before I go live.
Yeah, come on.
Man. Rob is funny. I was talking with him last night, and he said something that just totally just made so much sense. He goes to a Baptist church, and I just was like, and I was like, that makes so much sense, Rob. Like you go to a Baptist church, because in the South, like the Baptist church, I was telling him they're all the nice, really clean, neat, organized people. They're nice. Well, in here anyway. I don't, want to start no mess, but. Yeah. So yeah, like, is that, and I want to ask you too, is faith a big thing with you, Rob? Like faith and like, just like, just, does that play?
I think so.
Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Try to apply that into life and, obviously work and how you deal with people and all those things. Right. So, yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
I don't see you getting mad, bro. Like I don't ever see you like, I could never imagine you mad, like somebody making you mad and you're like, just go over there or something. I don't know. Like,
yeah. No, for sure, man. Like, I think, I think we all have all those things, right? And it's just like, what are you going to do about it? So, what are we going to do about it? You know? Yeah. So yeah, no, it's, I think it does. And I think I want to go back to a point that you made about community. Yeah. Because this is huge. And I think a lot of creators kind of missed out on this. Cause like, you mentioned Doc, and when like Steph connected with Doc and in that, the Ecamm, summit and everything. And like, I think there's a huge community that are waiting to help other creators that are coming up. Like you connect with somebody and like, I'm sure people connect with Steph and she's like, hey, let's plug you in somewhere. There's groups and there's like private chats and stuff that are happening. And I think in general, creators are very helpful. Yeah. There's going to be some rotten apples out there, right? That are, a little bit, there's some ego and stuff like that involved. But I think for the most part, creators are very helpful. They'll message you like, hey, you should do this, you should do this. Wow. And, even if I wasn't a TubeBuddy and I was a creator myself, like I always want to see people for sure, like make money. Like that's a very important thing for a creator. Yes. Shows like this to encourage and give ideas, like how can you make money? Or else it is, I think Sean said it, I'm sure other people have said it. I heard Sean say it too. Like if you're not making money as a creator, it's just a really expensive hobby. Like, all this stuff costs money, right? Yes, like microphones and cameras and your time and the Wi-Fi, so if you're not fiber, like that's a lot of money. So if you're not looking, like the Nixons are here. So like merch, like there's all these things, brand deals, right? So man, it's good that you're having these conversations, man. Absolutely. I think it's really helpful.
I want to talk with you, Rob, really quick, because me and you kind of had a heart to heart a little while back, and it was about like niching down, right? And maybe this may turn it, I don't want it to turn into a therapy session for me, but if it does, I have two of the best therapists right now in the content creation world right now. So
I feel like we should just pet you. You're too far away from him. Rob, you have to do it for me. He's over there. There.
Oh, we got it. Close.
Let me move. Yeah. Nah, just.
Oh wait! Now we're playing tag.
Y'all gonna be playing ping pong with my head over here, like.
I got it.
I think you missed your calling, Stephanie. You were supposed to be a comedian for sure.
Yeah, you should have
for
been.
sure. You're supposed to be like the Tina Fey in the Asian world or something. I don't know.
I so need a gif of the whole. That's like the cat and the laser.
So no, really quick, because we only got about 5 minutes here. And by the way, guys, we're all gonna jump into. Let me put it on me. I got to get better at this. I have a stream deck right here, and I haven't never even used this thing. But we're all gonna jump into Clubhouse right after this, and we're only gonna do about 30 minutes. I want to be super respectful of our guest time, but we're just gonna go in there, probably have some laughs because Stephanie Liu is gonna be cracking us up. She's a comedian tonight, and yeah. But now back to this. So let me go to this scene here too. Boom. All right. So that's me and Rob. All right. So we were talking about niching down and just like talk to me, bro, like as it relates to YouTube, right? And I was just, I think we were having a Zoom call or something. It was like, man, niching down can be a little daunting, right? Just thinking about, all the things that you could be doing with your channel, or just thinking about all the ideas that you have, but you have to somewhat forsake those ideas or something like that to just kind of focus on like your community, or the community that at least that you're trying to build, right? And your audience. So could you give me some encouraging words, or anybody out there encouraging words on how you're niching down, and maybe the importance of niching down, and how you're going about it? Because I know you kind of, I won't say you were struggling with that, but you were kind of, like I said, man, you had a heart to heart about that, and you were changing the direction of your channel. And now I see your channel just going, it's blowing up now, because I think you kind of had that soul searching deal with your channel. A little bit. And can you kind of speak to that? Because I need to hear this myself. I need to hear this myself.
Yeah.
So go ahead, talk to that, bro.
Yeah. I think it's always, so I think the struggle is always niching down, but also like I still want to be creative. Like if you're on YouTube, you're most likely a creative person. Like you want to create content. You like most of the time you like being on camera. You like sharing ideas and helping people. Like that's just in general. So it's always like, okay, do I niche down? Like how deep do you like go into a specific topic without cornering yourself into like, okay, this is the only thing I can talk about. And if I don't get views, right? And so I think it's more important to understand your audience rather than like, that's my topic. Like LinkedIn, that's me. So understand like, okay, so this for my own channel, who is my audience? Like, is it, let's not think about topics. Like, let's just throw topics. Let's say it's a fresh start. I had to do this late last year. I just like, I need to pause. I'm kind of tired of making some tutorial videos, and I enjoyed that. It was good. I still do it once in a while, but I don't want to be just a tutorial channel.
Yeah.
So, I want to have conversations. I want to have like other conversations in there. So then I was like, who is my audience here? So it's my audience are people that want to learn video. They understand marketing. They might be in a company in charge of marketing and working in marketing in some capacity, or they're an entrepreneur that understands marketing, but they just don't understand video. So, okay, cool. And then, that sort of like became the avatar. I'm thinking of the avatar. Like, cool. So like, I don't just have to talk about LinkedIn because that's not the only place to do videos. I can talk about YouTube. If I want to, I can bring on somebody that does TikTok and like talk about TikTok and things like that. I'm still serving the same person that's like interested in all those topics. And so that allows me to kind of move freely, and the channel still grows, and you can still test things and go and create a series on a specific thing and multiple videos without being cornered in. And so it's sustainable. It's more sustainable that way. You can prevent a lot of burnout and like getting tired of talking about one topic for too long. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting at now.
Stephanie Liu said bromance. She's man. She's the low-key life of the party. So what is your channel avatar now? What is your niche? What would you say your niche is? Like, what is your audience?
Yeah, that's it. Like people that understand marketing. So I don't have to talk about marketing. You'll never see me talk about, hey, this is how you build an email sequence, because people know that already. This is how you build a sales funnel. In general, they know that already when they come to my channel. Gotcha. They just want to understand, how do I use videos in all these things, so
Gotcha.
So yeah, we can talk about gear, and we could talk about platforms, and we can talk about some strategies and all that stuff, but it's not just one specific thing. So
that's pretty dope. That's dope. Yeah, I know we had like a heart to heart about niching down, because my channel was originally a music channel, so I just posted my music videos, and I did really well. Like I'm at I got to 10,000, subscribers just
Yeah.
doing that. But it's like, man, it gets expensive putting out music videos every day, So like, how can I expand into content creation and some other stuff? So that's just been really daunting for me to niche down, focus on a niche. But I know that my avatar for my channel, my audience is content creation and monetization. So not just making the content, but then how do you make a living off the content? So that's kind of where I want to go. So any help that you guys can give me, any advice, I'm always going to be leaning on y'all. So any final words? I think this was fun. I really appreciate y'all coming on my channel. We have to jump into the clubhouse now, but I would love for Stephanie you lead it off with some final words or anything that maybe you want to leave the audience, and also how can people find you and work with you, or whatever you want to leave them with.
I just got like the longest writing prompt. I felt like I was like applying for college all of a sudden.
Man, man, don't be too hard on me.
But what I would say is most of the content creators out there focus on the consumers. I think the difference between the stuff that I do is I'm always trying to focus on the brand deals, like the bigger collaborations, the corporate companies. And if you wanted to get a partnership with a specific brand, it's not about like, oh, can you sponsor a show, which is like one episode. I'm like, no, let me come to you with a whole entire series. Let me tell you what like season 1 is about. That's beginner level. Then I'm going to pitch you season number 2, which is intermediate, and then season 3, which is going to be advanced. And so that's the stuff where I get to geek out, is applying all of that knowledge that I had from the agency side. Like, how do you get that client acquisition and keep that client wanting to keep coming back to you? Because most brands don't have a content creator that knows how to create engaging content. And that's where you guys come in. That's where it's going to come in and be fun. As far as where to find me, I just bought a new domain. It's hilarious. It's called stephanieliu.club, and it takes you to my Facebook group.
Oh, wow. I just literally got EliseoWay.club as well. That's awesome.
Nice.
So, all right,
so whoever wants to be the president of the Stephanie Liu Club, that's totally cool. You could update your LinkedIn profile, all that.
Man, that is awesome.
You're going to have a whole lineup of people that want to do that position for sure.
Well, cool. So thank you for that. Go ahead and grab your phone, Stephanie. Like I said, we're going to jump in the clubhouse for a little bit while we're getting in there. Rob, you can finish us off with some final words and final thoughts for content creators and where people can find you as well. I'm going to open up the room right now.
Sweet. Awesome. Yeah. Good hanging out with you both. Thanks for having me, and Steph here. And this has been good, and hanging out with everyone in the chat too. We'll see you all on Clubhouse. But yeah, I just want to encourage you guys, just, really look at the business side of this, whole content creation game. It's a big industry. It already is big. It's going to continue growing. The attention is going to creators. You look around, creators are making money on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, everywhere, and brands are looking and paying attention to that. So like Steph said, there you go. Like Steph said, even if you're small, you can still like position yourself as somebody that should be sponsored, that they should be looking at, but really educate. Oh, we're already on Clubhouse? Okay, yeah. I got to get my phone. But yeah. I got to get my phone. But yeah, thanks for having me. No feel free to reach out, guys.
Absolutely.
Just copy and paste my name and you'll find me on Instagram or LinkedIn. That's what I always say.
There you go, man.
It's hard to spell.
So yeah, there you go. So shout out to Stephanie Liu and the homie Rob Balasabas. Let me put my face on the front facing camera. Boop. All right, there we go. So yeah, we're going to be in Clubhouse only about 30 minutes. So please come through. I think it's about 17 people on the stream. Let's get at least 10 people in the room. And let's ping some people. If you guys don't come in, I'm going to be asking all the questions because I love these two to death. So come through and we'll go from there. All right. If that will be all, I love you guys. And we'll see y'all on the next Creators on the Come Up. We're going to have Brian G. Johnson on the next show, man. Brian G., the OG, the triple G, Brian G. Johnson. Triple OG, nice. Man. So if you don't know who he is, go check out his channel and see us back here next week for Creators on the Come Up. I have a drop now.
Creators on the Come Up.
All right, y'all. See y'all later. Peace.
Love it.